Yo, yo, yo. That's right, Kayla. That's right. Let's go, baby. Put them away last night. What's going on, everybody? Sorry, I'm moving a little bit slow this morning, man. Moving slow this morning. I apologize. And then, of course, I was like ready to roll here, and I had software tell me after I was ready to to be ready with the stream that it wanted to update. And I was like, well, okay, I guess that's a thing. So made me a little bit more late than I should have been. It's good to see you guys. Good morning. Happy Saturday, man. Happy weekend. It'll be a chill day, dude. I went hard last night. Dude, we did like a 13, 14 hour stream. I think it was like closer to a 13-hour stream. Oh yeah, I stayed up and watched the entire game. Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was great. It was really good. Yeah, it was nice. So feels good, man. Feels good. Yeah. Yeah, it was nice. Yeah. Really good game. I'll say that, like, yeah, Islanders lost, yeah, I saw that too. I didn't watch it, but I did see the score, and that's gonna be a rough one for Cash to take, and hopefully your team will be able to stay in it at least, So we'll see what happens moving forward. The Stars have looked good the past few games, which is really nice, It was kind of a back and forth for us with the Wild over those first few games there, but the end of the series there, we really started, I think, putting it to them, man, and we kind of showed through a little bit, like more like what we had been doing all season, which was good. Oh yeah, so. I don't know. Now we just got to wait and see who wins between the Avalanche and the Kraken, man. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I think I'd rather face the Kraken than the Avalanche. The Avalanche seem like one of those teams. I don't want to get off into sports too much here. We'll get into the gaming, video gaming stuff in a second. But hard for me not to talk about hockey for a second when my team won their first round last night. So the Avalanche have always seemed like, it's like, for some reason, the Avalanche, to me anyways, over the past number of years, the Avalanche, the Maple Leafs, and the Canucks, or not the Canucks, but the Calgary Flames, those teams, dude, I feel like they always give us a tough time. I don't know why, but there's just something about those teams, man. And oh yeah, nice. Hey, 3 out of 4 is not bad, man. I think I'd rather see the Kraken take down the Avalanche and Dallas have to take on the Kraken, So they're both really good teams though, and that's the way hockey is. You can go either way. So who knows? But see what happens, man. Either way, Avalanche winning last night gives Dallas a little bit more rest time, because we have to wait until that series finishes up before we'll even be able to start playing. So that gives us just a little bit more of a buffer for some rest time for the guys before we have to start playing another series. So that's not bad necessarily. Yeah. But enough with sports. We'll go ahead and start diving into what we're doing today. It'll be a bit shorter of a day today. I got some stuff going on this afternoon, so we'll probably only go till we're out noon. It'll be more like a 6-hour stream today, so we'll do the news, and then we'll just do a little bit of Warframe today. Yeah. The entire, since last weekend all the way through this week's been a bit weird like that, and I apologize. I normally, Monday through Friday, I always try to do, average of 9-hour streams. This week's been a bit weird. There's just been a lot of stuff going on. So that's why I tried to go really hard last night. I streamed from 6 in the morning till about 7 at night to try to make up for some of that, and the fact that I knew I was going to have to go short today too a little bit. So, but we'll have a good time, man. We'll get this news done, and then we'll play some Warframe, and you know, we'll see what's going on. But on that note, man, let's dive in here. Let's get into video gaming news for today. Yo, did you see the title of my? Did you see the stream title, by the way? Did you see the entire title? Devils can't win. Get the win tonight. At least live to fight. Yeah. I mean, that's always a better situation, right? But what you would like to see from your team is that they take this game 6 being up 3-2, take game 6 and head into it like they're playing an elimination game, right? And that's what I wanted to see last night, like from the Stars. And that's what they did. They went in there and they outplayed the Wild through and through. 3 periods, they outplayed them, man. And they played last night's game like it was an elimination game for them, even though it wasn't, you know? yeah. So we'll see what's up once Wick gets in here. See if he sees it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll be rooting for your team for you though, Kayla. Yeah, for sure. Dude, you're kicking off a 3-day weekend, yeah? Kicking off a 3-day weekend. Let's go. All right, let's go ahead and dive into this, man. Yeah, for sure. Nice. That's awesome. Check this out. We're listening to Crypt of the Necrodancer OST this morning. Soundtrack for Crypt of the Necrodancer. It's a rhythm-based adventure RPG game. It's renowned. It's well known to be a very, very, very good rhythm-based game. Also, if you're into rhythm-based games, you should definitely check it out. And the soundtrack's just really good. So I'll go ahead and kill the music. We'll go ahead and start diving in, but you should go take a look at that game, okay? Let's do this. All right, dude. Wait. Okay. We already got a couple of things to talk about here. Microsoft inks another cloud gaming deal after the UK blocked its Activision takeover. So, obviously, we knew Microsoft wasn't just going to be like, oh, well, this isn't done. We're not going to be able to buy Activision Blizzard, right? So, we're going to keep finding out what their plan is moving forward. This is part of it, for sure. Major publishers report AAA games can cost over $1 billion to make. Excuse me? I don't know that I'm buying that. Can cost over $1 billion to make. I want to see some numbers, man. Let me see some numbers. And here's what's going to be even more gross about this situation, okay? If we're going to start talking about AAA games costing over $1 billion to make, let's go start taking a look at some of these recent, releases, like The Last of Us Part 1. You know what I mean? Gross. Game's terrible. Let's look at the most recent. Jedi Survivor. You know what I mean? 48% positive of 6,500 reviews at this point. Released 2 days ago, and it's a piece of trash on PC. You know, Wild Hearts. 47% positive of over 8,000 reviews at this point because it's trash on PC. What else we got on the table here? Wolong. Let's go. Wolong. 47% positive of over 16,000 user reviews. Why? Because it's a piece of trash on PC. And this doesn't even take into account. I mean, I'm just throwing out some games off the top of my head here, right? I haven't even had enough coffee yet, dude. to really start. Sorry, I'm tangled up a bit. To really start like listing out a ton of them. These are some of just the more recent ones. But I mean, you're even talking about Elden Ring was bad on release. It's obviously very positive. This game was so hard to play on release on PC, right? Hogwarts Legacy, I had to flush Hogwarts Legacy because it performed terribly on PC. How are games, if this is in fact true, and games are costing over $1 billion to make in the AAA space, why are they balls? Why are they trash? So we'll dive into that. Yeah, I agree. I feel like it's a bit weird that like, so Kotaku's saying nobody really knows why the UK blocked Microsoft's Activision deal. Well, what they're saying is that within the UK, it would present a very anti-competitive business model, specifically in cloud gaming. That's all they've said, which is a bit weird, honestly. The fact that like there's so many other places that have gone, okay, it was an issue previously. Microsoft was like, they've done all these deals, they've come out and they've made these 10-year agreements and things like that. And everybody else was like, okay, this is better. This seems to be a better play here. A lot of other cloud gaming services are getting 10-year deals. A lot, even console, Nintendo, 10-year deals, things like that. Subscription, gaming subscription services, 10-year deals. And it really alleviated a lot of the concerns these regulatory bodies and committees and stuff had in these different countries about the anti-competitiveness of this deal. But the UK still just blocked it, which was a bit odd. And all they said was, we don't like what it would do to our cloud gaming space. And look, I've said this before. I don't think anybody, or most people anyways, really know all the ins and outs of like the whose hands are in whose pockets and what's going on here. And I mean, this is a worldwide affecting kind of business deal here. We're talking $70 billion roughly, in an acquisition. And these are long, the ramifications and the impact that this potential acquisition will have across the industry for years and years and years to come. Not only for Microsoft, but for its competitors. It's got there's a lot of long-standing impacts here, and so I think it's it's an important thing to not rush into it, but I can only assume that there are an amount of these people in these regulatory committees that might have some kind of ties with Microsoft people, and then there's some that might have ties with like Sony people, and so it's probably a very, very weird situation. But I don't know. Let's pull this up too. Random mode time already. Let's go. Cash won last, actually, pretty awesome. We talked yesterday. Sorry. So let me just go ahead and state. I streamed 13 hours yesterday, and then I ate dinner, and then I watched my hockey team play. I did no clipping, no highlighting, no YouTube stuff, which is something I normally do every single day. But it was a long stream day, and then I had my hockey team was playing, so I watched the playoff game too, and by that time, dude, I was spent. So there, I didn't get yesterday's news segment put up or any clips out of it or anything either. So I apologize, it's not up yet. But by the end of today, all that stuff from yesterday and today's stuff out of this news segment and this news segment itself, everything should be up on YouTube, okay? So I apologize. We did hit on the Prime Gaming stuff yesterday, though, so I'm not going to dive into it today. New Prime Gaming for May. We hit on this as well. Steam update revamps in-game overlay. Lets you watch movies while gaming. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So if you're doing like monotonous tasks in games where you don't necessarily need your entire screen or whatever, then there's like the way, and I haven't really tried it out myself yet, but we read about it yesterday. You can actually use the Steam overlay to bring in like a Netflix screen. It's like what it sounds like, if you know what picture in picture kind of is, right? So it'd be like an overlay for your games. Wait, what? Submissions for videos to react to. Well, I mean, you mean just like, and what's up, Tessie? Happy Saturday. So if you're like, you're talking about like requests for things for us to talk about, is that what you mean? You just wanting us? Hey, thanks, appreciate it. So we actually have a Discord server, right? So this is what I tell most people. If you got something you want to, there's our Discord server. If you got like, if it has specifically to do with video gaming news, then just let me know while we're doing the news segment. If it's outside of us currently engaging in the news segment, then throw it in the Discord. We've got like a recommendations or a suggestions channel, or just DM me or whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever. But if we're currently engaged in like video gaming news stuff, because I do this every single day at the beginning of the stream, and you've got something, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah. All right. Word. Um, I mean, if you want to DM me, you can DM me in my Discord, and I'll take a look. Yeah. Just shoot it to me in Discord. Yeah, I mean, the Discord and the channel here is one of those places that we try to stay away from, like a whole lot of spamming self-promotional kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But I'll do my best to take a look at it. I'll give you the best feedback I can. Here's my thing. So I'm not like an expert YouTuber or anything either, but my thing is I'm pretty good with that kind of stuff. I just don't have the time to dive into it and really make my YouTube stuff as good as I could, because I stream roughly 8-9 hours a day average, and then all the time I would need to work on significant editing and video creation and stuff on the back end just isn't. I don't have the time for it, But I mean, I'll give you my honest opinion and everything. If you just shoot it to me in a DM in Discord, then I'll take a look at it whenever I get a chance, and I'll give you some feedback. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's one of those things, I think, for a lot of people wanting to get into whether any kind of content creation, whether it be live stuff or, just putting videos out on YouTube or any other platform or whatever. I think knowing what you want to do, sticking to that, don't get downhearted. I mean, try some different things, and I think sometimes it can take time, right? Sometimes it can take time. So I think the biggest thing is, you know, if you're doing something you're passionate about, then you just keep pushing towards that, you know, keep pushing towards that. But thanks for the follow, friendo. Yeah, yeah. But I'll take a look as soon as I get a chance. Yeah, this is pretty cool, man. Steam's got this whole overlay thing now where it kind of gives you the ability, like if you're just grinding in a game and maybe like grinding resources or whatever, and it's kind of a monotonous task. Um, I don't know how much I would use this over, but I mean, this is personally me. I mean, anytime I'm playing a game and I'm not streaming or anything, I'll just pull up a browser on my second monitor, you know, and I'll just like watch a show there, or normally I just listen to music. But it is a cool thing. I mean, that they're incorporating that. It gives people the option that maybe don't have second monitors or whatever, to be able to just pull up a show within their game and just have it like maybe up in the corner or whatever, and grind around in a game and also watch a show. You know, that's a pretty cool thing for sure. Mm-hmm. New Tomb Raider game leaked. All right, man. We knew there was something coming our way. So, apparently we're finally going to get a bit of a taste of what's next for Tomb Raider. This is going to be interesting considering that Tomb Raider, was bought. The entire IP was bought from. It's actually changed hands twice now over the span of about a year. If you guys remember, like the middle of last year, I think it was May of last year, Tomb Raider was part of the acquisition that Embracer Group made when they bought all the North American studios that Square Enix held. I think they might all be actually in Canada, but there were like 4 development studios that Embracer Group bought. And along with those development studios, they got the IPs for Deus Ex, Tomb Raider, Thief. What else did they get? Might have been one more in there. But anyways, beginning of this year, Embracer Group turned around and sold the Tomb Raider rights, or the licensing and everything, to Amazon for double what they bought everything else for half a year prior. They bought all of that stuff, the development studios, all those IPs from a Square Enix for $300 million, and they turned around and only sold Tomb Raider to Amazon for $600 million 6 months later. Yeah, I bet that dog wouldn't ignore you if you had a treat. You know what I mean? But we've known that there was like new Tomb Raider games being developed and stuff for a bit now. We just hadn't seen anything, so hopefully we'll get a good taste of what new Tomb Raider games are bringing to the table for us. You're our favorite human. What'd you do? How'd you make the dog mad? Oh no, how'd you make the dog mad? What'd you do? If you're the dog's favorite human and the dog's mad, what'd you do? Sony cast doubt on PS5 momentum with disappointing outlook. It's probably, I mean, they're probably banking on the fact that PS5 Pro will help out on the second half of the life cycle here of the PS5. Look, PS5 will be 3 years old in November. That's half of the console life cycle on average, you know? Just came downstairs. So, I'm not going to dive into this. I think what the takeaway here is, like, if you're not familiar with this process and like the cyclical life cycle and nature of consoles, right? Consoles usually last roughly 6, 7 years on average. The Switch right now is kind of really an outlier on this, as it's getting old. And Nintendo hasn't even told us what we're going to be getting next. But the average for consoles throughout gaming history has been roughly 6 to 7 years of life before the new iteration, the a new console will come out to push the old ones away, right? And so the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S will all be 3 years old come this November. That means they're roughly halfway through their life cycle. We know the PS5 Pro is supposed to be hitting within the next year, roughly. And so if PS5 sales have slowed down at all, I think that Sony is probably banking on the fact that the PS5 Pro will probably help raise some hype about the PS5 again, get people more interested in a more powerful version of the PS5. But ultimately, I doubt that the hardware upgrade is going to be anything significant enough that anybody that already has a PS5 should really be buying into it. If you don't already have a PS5 and you're interested in that platform, then maybe a PS5 Pro is your go-to. But again, I think it's just going to be respected for everybody, right? maybe she's gassy. You know, maybe she's gassy, and because you're her favorite human, she's like doing you a solid by just staying away from you for a little bit. She didn't want to. She wouldn't want to doggy crop dust you. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I'll say this: if you're going to continue Cal's journey in Star Wars Jedi Survivor, don't do it on PC. Apparently, the game is really good on consoles, but it is absolute trash on PC. So, unfortunately, man, just another example of the PC gaming space getting a really, really bad version of a game that's good on other platforms. So, I don't know, man. I'm so tired of dealing with this, but I don't know. I wonder if they've even stated anything. Yeah, let's read this. EA and Respawn admit Star Wars Jedi Survivor on PC has big problems. Yeah, we're going to read that. Does she smell though? What is this? Death Road's tournament preview. Deck building meets road carnage. Okay, yeah. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's take a look at that. I haven't even heard about that. Wait, what? Oh, okay. 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 Look, man, I've been. I think what this is going to talk about here is so Nintendo job listing could be huge news for Switch Online subscribers. Did you see the whole title, dude, of the stream right now? Congrats, Wick. I'm proud of you, man. Proud of you. Oh, yeah, Kayla, it's got me jacked up right now too. I take allergy medication like just for seasonal allergies and stuff, but I can tell it's like messing with me a little bit too. Yeah, yeah. Wick. I told you, dude, the stars were gonna put it away last night, bro. You just didn't listen. So here's the thing. I've been harping on this for a long time. Nintendo's terrible. They feel like they need to come out with a new online platform for every new console they make, and they've got to stop. It's literally it just needs to be called Nintendo Online, where all their platforms are integrated into just one online system. Um, and if you've still got a 3DS, you can still get anything you need for the 3DS off of that, rather than the entire eShop shutting down. And if you've still got a Wii, you can get anything off of that platform that you need. You know what I mean? If you still play on a Wii or Wii U or whatever, dude. And this is what has concerned a lot of people about a new console for Nintendo is that they all the time, this is what they do. They go, okay, well, a new console's coming out, so we got to make a new online platform. So now everything, you're gonna have to. Basically, it starts everybody over from scratch, right? For whatever their new console is gonna be, which is gross. It shouldn't be like that. So what Nintendo, I've been stating this for a while, what Nintendo needs to do is quit calling this Nintendo Switch Online. They shouldn't have ever done that. It should have just been Nintendo Online when they came out with the Switch. They should have migrated all of their other online capabilities over into that platform, their older capabilities and eShop stuff over there. And it should just roll over into every next iteration of whatever they need to have done for their platform moving forward. But they keep not doing this, and this is why people keep getting scared about it. So it does look like they came out with a statement not too long ago saying that people shouldn't be worried this time. They're going to do it this time, and it'll be the same online platform and everything. But I don't think that's really alleviated a lot of people's concerns. But it does look like maybe there's a job listing here that it looks like Switch Online subscribers will be able to carry over their NES, SNES, Sega, Game Boy, and 64 games to the next Nintendo platform and stuff like that. So, fair, dude. I'm again. I can't do the console space anymore, man. I just can't. I'm just so over it. It's so gross, man. But I'll pull it up. But it looks like Nintendo's trying to. Maybe be better. We'll see what's going on, man. What's up, Ferret? Probably should just suffer through it. Yeah. Um, I had really, really bad seasonal allergies whenever I was younger. They're not too bad anymore, but dude, especially when the seasons turn over, especially like from winter to spring, it can get really bad for me sometimes. Chilling until archery time. Word, dude. Nice. Nice. Go Stars. The dog's name is Pandora. Nice. I like it. Yo, yo, Ferret, check this out. Did you see the entire stream title, dude? Check this out, dude. Escape from Tarkov roadmap confirms an armored vehicle. Too late, bro. Oh, dude. Yo, Vampire Survivors is being made into an animated series. That's wild. All right. And it wouldn't have even because Ferret got it in there before Wick even put the emote only on. But yeah, you're right, Kayla. Cyberpunk. All right, let's go check out our other search. Yeah, dude, be careful. Careful. Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can. They can. Yeah, Kayla. Yeah. Shut up. God. You are so trolly, dude. Oh man. Oh, dude, I bet. Yo, I even sent Wick a. Yo, I'll show you guys what I sent Wick last night. I was watching the game. It was like the start of the third period. Dallas was up, and this is what I sent Wick. Funny enough, dude, this is a GIF I found, and it's actually the Stars playing the Wild, so it was perfect. Wick wasn't saying anything back though, dude. Nothing. He was having none of it. Too many Europeans with swords in here. I say not enough, dude. Oh, dude. I mean, yeah. I mean, I basically had to build his PC for him. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, mini. Yeah, mini. Ferret. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, where. Oh, dude. I just forget how low level I got to get with it for you. You know what I mean? I just forget how I've got to actually the things that I would most people just that's inherently something most people would go know that, but for Wick I forget that I need to hold his little hand through everything. You need a keyboard too, bro. You know. No, they're not. Oh, dude. Yes, huh? Americans are the worst. I hate stereotyping, but You know what's funny? You know what's funny? Just bringing that up though, I saw a hilarious meme. Somebody posted on social media. It was like, "What do you call like a European Karen?" You know, we call like a Karen, right? Like, and the first response was an American. I was dying, dude. It was so funny. I was like, yeah, yeah, you know. So, cause, to be honest, to be fair, like I do, like I feel really gross about the image a lot of people from this country have given off to other parts of the world. You know, or a Russian. All right. What's up, Tinwin? What's up, dude? But dude, it was that was so funny though. I just saw it like last night, and I was like, "Oh man, that is hilarious." No, no. I mean, I mean, I don't want to get too political or anything right now in our video gaming news segment, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's been a big concern for me for a number of years now too. I mean, this I've again, and I've stated many times, I feel very fortunate to have, you know, to be a citizen here and to, you know, live here and all that stuff. But there's definitely a big part of me that looks at what's going on in this country and is really grossed out by it. And again, I mean, I've actually taken some time to look into maybe, you know, relocating somewhere like New Zealand or Australia. And they seem like cool places to be, you know. Yeah, it would. Yeah, I mean, that's where I'm gonna leave it. But really, Tinwin, are they really? I didn't know that. Oh, oh, yeah, fair. Well, I've got something up on it already too, dude. Look, yeah, yeah. The reviews. What are we at? Like close to. I already pulled it up this morning, dude. I already pulled it up this morning. Look, I mean, I've been talking about all. Like, I mean, I already went into a small rant this morning. Wolong, Wild Hearts, flipping Jedi Survivor, 6,500 reviews almost now at 48% dude, I've already been yeah. So when's it gonna when and the reason I brought it up was because um yeah, that's why I think a lot of Americans come off too. I think a lot of Americans come off that way too, you know. Uh yeah. Unfortunately. They've made decent people from this country be stereotyped that way, which sucks. But I mean, this country's, I don't know, man. It's weird. I'll just stop. I'll stop. Um, God, Wick. Oh my God. Well, I mean, this is one of those. We'll talk about. We'll talk. We'll get into it. I think this is one of those situations again, Ferret, where you're talking about a PC game where I think it's really, really obvious when something has not been developed correctly for PC. You'll get some people that are able to run it okay, some people that don't incur too many issues, you know, then some people that can run it moderately. They still deal with a lot of stuttering and frames, but they'll be able to push through because they are enjoying the content or whatever. And they get some people that just can't even hardly run it at all. And that is basically what comes down to the developer not optimizing and developing that game for PC right. You know, that was a good one, Wick. I like that. We'll talk about it though. We'll talk. I've got it up. We'll talk about it. ultimately, the thing that is not acceptable is that it is not the same game on PC that it is on console. And this is what keeps happening in the industry. Console games are being made very well, and the PC versions of those games are being just disregarded. Like it's not worth. It's not worth putting the same time and effort into the PC versions of those games. So we get a very subpar product constantly. It's beyond me. It's so gross. Heard even the consoles are having issues too. Really? I heard the consoles were doing pretty well. I'll have to look it up. That's the first I had heard that. Oh, it's insane. It's a plague, dude. It's a plague on the industry right now for especially PC gamers. You know, PC gaming. We got the first trailer for Twisted Metal. Dude, we got to look at it. God, I hope it's going to be good, but I'm so scared that it's going to be terrible. All right, you got another Star Wars Jedi Survivor one here. We'll put this back with the EA Respawn stuff. Wait. Forest of Illusion, a video game preservation site that has been running for 6 years, just announced that it's shutting down. Crap, dude. Those are the places that are doing gaming God's work. You know what I mean? And they can't stay open, dude. That's exactly what I've been saying too, bro. They want $70 a pop. We need more money for the games. We're making them, they cost more. We're making them bigger and better. You're not making them better, that's for sure. I mean, basically what brought up my early rant this morning was that this. So we're going to put this with these two as well. Major publishers report AAA games can cost over $1 billion to make. If this is in fact the case, which, Jesus, dude, that's a lot of money. If this is in fact the case, that we're at the point in gaming now where AAA games are sometimes costing over $1 billion to make, why are they being trash all the time? Why are they being released as trash all the time? With that amount of budget, that is terrible. And all that does is goes to show you how much better that quite often the like mid-budget, you know, like the single A kind of titles to the lower like indie side of the industry actually is than the AAA space. I'm not saying there aren't good AAA devs and stuff, and we'll get into this after I get all of our articles up. But dude, that's gross. That's gross. I'd be really interested to see. You know, a lot of these games that have come out that feel like absolute trash. What were their budgets? How much was spent in the development of those games for them to be released and just be absolute piles of crap? How does that even happen? Dude, I have been talking forever now about the fact that indie developers are literally the thing that has saved the gaming world. I truly believe that. And again, it's not that there aren't some big devs that are still doing good things, but overall, it's like the indie community is really, really setting the bar and for what standards should be in gaming nowadays. It just doesn't. It doesn't add up, man. You've got these indie developers that are on these low budgets with small teams that consistently come out with really, really unique, inventive, polished products. And then you get, you know, these AAA games that have budgets that apparently are approaching and even breaching the $1 billion mark, and they're crap. You can't even enjoy the content in them because they play like crap. What I mean, dude, there's something wrong, man. We've got something on this up already. We talked about this yesterday. Again, the new segment from the new segment from yesterday is not up because I streamed 13 hours and then I chilled for a second and ate some dinner and then I watched the Stars game. I slowly watched Wick convert into a Dallas Stars fan, basically, is what happened last night, and I was just too tired to do the YouTube stuff last night. So all of yesterday's news segment stuff and today's news segment stuff will be up later today, okay? Oh my god, dude. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I got I gotta send this to Pinky, dude. Where's the picture at, dude? Video embed. Yeah, I gotta send this to Pinky, dude. Hold on. All right. All pink setup, baby. Let's go. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Yo, dude, how is nobody talking? Like, what's that individual's name that plays the Flash, dude? Isn't it like Ezra something? Um, how is that dude still playing that character? What's his name, dude? What's the actor that plays the Flash? Ezra Miller, dude. Ezra Miller. Have you guys heard about this dude? Sorry. Sorry to get off on something different here, but this is the dude that plays the Flash. Dude, he is been in so much flippin' trouble. He's been in so much trouble. Before they even decided to release the Flash, this like latest one, he had been in a ton of trouble, dude. And they like some really, really sketched out stuff, dude. Like some really, really sketchy stuff. And they were, I can't believe they still decided to like release this movie with him being like the main actor. And I mean, I get it. There's a lot of other people in this and stuff that deserve to have their roles shown and everything. But by the way, Michael Keaton is Batman. Let's go, dude. Oh yeah, I'm sure it is. But I mean, does that change the fact that this fool is, in a lot of heat, and I mean, I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? But it's gross. I guess is what I'm getting at. All it takes is like looking up all the stuff that has gone on with this guy over the past few years, and going, I'm just grossed out that they even were like, yeah, we should just go ahead and release this. It's like, because money, trumps everything, right? I mean, basically, that's what it looks like to me. It's like, well, who cares if he's a total piece of trash and, you know, money wins, dude. Sorry, I just yikers. Armored Core 6 has a hilariously expensive collector's edition. I can't do these Game News 24 site, dude. They're so badly translated. I can hardly ever read them. All right, let's stick with this. We'll get plenty out of what we got here. Armored Core 6 has a hilariously expensive collector's edition. Yeah. I mean, look. I don't think there's been like a more public and a perfect example of don't get in bed with crazy. You know what I mean? What's up, Miss Bat? You know what I'm saying? You guys, everybody's heard that term. You don't get in bed with crazy, dude. But look, it's not. I think there was stuff going on both sides there. But I do think that, you know, he definitely was like the worst side of that. But I think they both were like feeding the flames probably a little bit and everything. And I don't know. I'll tell you this: that entire like court case and everything made her look so stupid and terrible too. Like Johnny Depp is a very well-spoken individual. He's a smart dude. He's smart. He's very well-spoken. He had really good lawyers. She is not. She does not come off as intelligent. She does not come off as well-spoken. She didn't even come off as a good actor when she was trying to like appear sad and stuff in the court case. And her law team was balls. Yeah, she was worse. Yeah, I agree. She is in the next Aquaman movie? Really? God dang, dude. I'm sorry, what? Okay, so wait. So wait. They don't feel like Amber Heard can be replaced in Aquaman, but Netflix feels like Henry Cavill can be replaced in The Witcher? I don't agree with that, Miss Bat. I will agree with that, Kayla. I don't think anyone can be replaced, but I think Amber Heard can be replaced quite easily. That's kind of what I was getting at, though, Miss Bat. Like, I don't think Henry Cavill can be replaced as Geralt in The Witcher. I don't think that's a thing. I don't think he can be replaced. I think there are certain like people that have taken on these roles that it would be basically impossible to replace. I mean, you can replace them, but to replace them successfully, I guess, is something that I don't feel can really be done. You know? Oh without Johnny Depp, Pirates of the Caribbean is not going to be the same thing. No way, no way. And look, I've like actually Johnny Depp has always been like my favorite actor. I always liked Johnny Depp because he played weird roles. It was like the thing that I found appealing about him was that for a dude that most people find to be very, very, very good looking, really, really, really good looking, he always took on these really weird roles, you know, that was like kind of a play off of like the way people felt about him in real life. You know what I mean? And I always found that really intriguing. And I liked that about him. And I do think he's a very good actor. I've been a fan of his for a very long time. But I do think that, you know, fame and fortune and stuff, I think it does mess with people a little bit. I think it's probably changed Johnny Depp to an extent too, you know. That doesn't surprise me. Jason Momoa seems like a good dude. Yeah, I don't think I think that they could try to replace people. It's like because we already know that like I mean we're getting off of video game stuff, but you know they're trying to replace. I think this is the I keep going back to the Witcher thing because it's so crazy to me that they feel like Netflix feels like they're going to be able to replace Henry Cavill with um, Liam Hemsworth. And nothing against Liam Hemsworth, but dude, I don't see it. You know, it's just not there. And I won't even watch any seasons of The Witcher that have to do with Geralt in this particular setting and everything, like continuing this story after this season that's airing soon. This is the last season with Henry Cavill in it. I won't be. The immersion will be ruined for me. It won't. He won't look the same. He won't have the same mannerisms really that Henry Cavill was able to portray. It'll. I mean, I'm not saying that Hemsworth won't do a decent job at it or whatever. I don't know, but it won't be the same. Shocks. What's up, buddy? So yeah, I mean, I do feel like there are certain actors in certain roles that just you can't replace them, dude. It just doesn't work. You woke up. Congratulations, man. That's step one. Yeah, I mean, I think I watched it. I think I watched it. I'm ready for the next Joker movie and the next Dune movie. That's what I'm looking for. Armored Core 6 has a hilariously expensive collector's edition. Um, From Software has dropped gameplay and launch date for Armored Core 6 as the Elden Ring developer vows to make more games more quickly. Yo, can you vow to release your PC games in a decent state? Can you vow for that first? Following the surprise reveal at December's The Game Awards, Armored Core 6 Fires the Rubicon officially has a release date of August 25th alongside its first gameplay trailer, which we watched yesterday. As such, pre-orders are live, and developer From Software is clearly quite optimistic about the series' popularity, despite it being nearly 10 years since the last game, Armored Core 5 Verdict Day. Aside from a 60-pound launch edition and a 200-pound collector's edition, From Software is also pushing a premium collector's edition that costs an eye-watering 400 pounds. The bulk of that extra 200 seems to come from the figure that's included, or rather the massive garage that it comes stored in, since the rest of the extra content is the same as the regular collector's edition. Yo, this is dope. Oh god, yeah, that's pretty dope, dude. I like that. In total, you're getting the game, the figure, a digital soundtrack, steelbook, art book, badges, stickers, art cards, and a poster. Launch Edition, meanwhile, is just the game, the art cards, the stickers, and the poster. PC players will be pleased to know that they can just get the game on its own for £50, or an exclusive digital deluxe edition that comes with the soundtrack and digital art book for close to $60. Pre-ordering any version of the game also nets you an early access to parts for a Melander C3 mech, though the accompanying decal is exclusive to pre-orders and can't be obtained elsewhere. One especially welcome bit of news is that Armored Core 6 will offer free next-gen upgrades, so PlayStation 4 and Xbox One players can get the respective PS5 and Xbox Series X and S versions at no cost. That's great. You know what's crazy about this is that it's the developers of the software that are doing this for people, not the platforms themselves. You know what I mean? From Software fans at least have something to chew on until the Elden Ring DLC comes out, although the fact that it and Armored Core 6 are being developed simultaneously is apparently a sign that the wait between From Software projects could become shorter. Producer Yasuhiro Kitao tells Eurogamer the studio has always tried to manage multiple projects at once, but he adds, "We hope to stagger our releases and bring something new and exciting at hopefully not so long intervals going forward." Here's another thing about, if you didn't know this about From Software, I'll link this so you guys can watch this too. The From Software has had some investment here recently. If I remember correctly, the investment being from Sony themselves and Tencent, both. To a point of where both of those companies combined own about 10% of From at this point. But what it's done is it's allowed From to start trying to invest that money into their own internal publication division. What they're trying to do, if you didn't know, for basically ever, Bandai Namco, right here, Bandai Namco has been the publisher for From Software, but From is trying to move away from that and trying to get to where they can publish their games in-house. And so, just a little bit of tidbit information there, if you guys weren't familiar, that basically From Software is trying to get to a point of where they can be both the developer and publisher of their software and not have to rely on anything outside anymore. Last AAA title that was released without issues. Are we talking across like a specific platform, or just are we talking about just PC? Me too, Kayla. I'm not a real big like just mainly PC. Yeah. Resident Evil RE4, dude. RE4. I think Dead Space did pretty good too. I don't think it had a ton of issues. Dead Space remake also. Pretty sure. Those are the first ones that come to mind. And Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush. So again, it's not like there aren't some developers that are doing some decent things, you know, but there are a lot of developers that are not doing good stuff too. Basically stealing money from us. Oh yeah, Tango, bro. Yeah, dude, for sure. Tango Softworks, absolutely AAA. AAA developer, dude. Uh huh. Evil Within games, Ghostwire Tokyo. They're underneath Bethesda, who is underneath Microsoft. Yeah, they're AAA, dog. Oh, dude. That's what, yeah. Tango's actually one of my favorite developers, dude, especially after Hi-Fi Rush. But the Evil Within games, man, I played our first Scaretober here in the channel. That made me fall in love with Tango, dude. The Evil Within games are dope. I mean, if for anybody that likes horror games, Evil Within games are fantastic. They're so good. Actually, introduced me to one of my favorite antagonists in video games, Stefano. That was a recommendation from Tinwin too. He's like, dude, you should play the Evil Within games. I was like, oh, okay. So we played both of them, dude. They were great. Yeah, yeah. Tango's good stuff, dude. So I mean, um, yeah. I mean, it's not like there's not good stuff happening, you know, and but there's a lot of bad too. So it's I think you know here's the thing. I think you bring up a good point there too, man. I mean, we're going to get into this discussion in depth here in a moment, but you bring up a good point of like, I think it is important that we do try to focus on those companies that are still doing a good job also, right? I'll say this, dude. For the most part, Capcom is a AAA company that continues to do a pretty good job. You know? Um, so there's developers, there's AAA developers out there that still have their head on straight, you know? And they're still pumping out quality content. And I think it's as is this is usually the case in life. It's easier to focus on the negatives. It's easier to focus on the things that are bad, right? Rather than the things that are positive and good. Um, and we talk about the bad things more often than we do the good things, which isn't necessarily fair, but it's one of those things that I think a big part of what we're trying to do here in this channel and this community is raise awareness about, because it seems like there's a big problem right now to me. That's the way it seems anyways. And um, so it is important. You bring up a good point. I do think it's important that we from time to time point out some of these other companies that are doing a good job. And I do quite often, you know, in contrast to pointing out all these negatives, I do try to say, you know, that, you know, there are companies out there still doing good stuff, you know, so I try to make sure that people understand. I'm not trying to say that like the entire industry is just, you know, capsized right now or anything from AAA dev standpoint. It's not like upside down, but there's a lot of bad for sure. That's it. This is an incredibly expensive collector's edition, dude. I'm so psyched for this game, and I just I won't be able to play it day one. I'll be honest, I might pre-order it anyways, and if people talk about how bad it is on release, I might just refund it. If it comes out that it's just pretty bad on PC on release, performance wise and stuff, I might just refund it. Just be like, whatever. Just get my money back. But if it's good, I was gonna play it. I'm not willing to jump in day one necessarily, and because I've already been bit by From. I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. That's crazy though, dude. Yo, you know Scalper's going to be buying those things up and selling them for like a G on eBay. Game preservation site Force of Illusion shuts down after 6 years, man. After 6 years, Force of Illusion is shutting down. Force of Illusion, a video game preservation site that has been running for 6 years, has just announced that it's shutting down. It shared the news earlier today on Twitter to its over 49,000 followers with an attached statement hosted on the Internet Archive. We've come to the decision that we can no longer keep the site running, the announcement reads. This is for a few reasons, but it's primarily due to not being able to provide the necessary time and energy needed to maintain our cherished platform. We express our sincerest gratitude to our supporters and followers. Thank you for being a part of this extraordinary adventure. Thank you to all past and present patrons who helped us get to where we are. Everything has been transferred to archive.org, so you can still find things like Super Mario Collection Screensaver and the new new Super Luigi U prototype. While Forest of Illusion specialized in preserving Nintendo's history, even taking its name from Super Mario World, it extended that mission goal to all games, so you can find things like the Zoo Tycoon beta, Dungeon Siege beta, and Spider-Man 4 prototype on that archive. Isn't it sad that, like, it's these third-party kind of, or just like outside organizations that are having to do this for Nintendo? Nintendo sucks. Yeah, the Dungeon Siege games. Yeah. Surprised Nintendo didn't try and sue them. Maybe that's why they're really shutting down. Who knows? There's a twist for you. Fans were understandably upset to see a site dedicated to preservation shut down, especially in the wake of industry-wide failures to preserve gaming history with the PS3, Wii U, and 3DS storefront closures. Force of Illusion clarified in a follow-up tweet that the exact reasons behind the decision were donations just aren't able to keep up with the insane server costs. I'm unable to keep paying out of pocket and working on everything 20 plus hours a week. It said in reply to a commenter asking for further clarification. Site was only run by a total of 3 people, so it just wasn't really enough to keep it afloat long term. In the meantime, Force of Illusion has suggested other accounts to support and follow if you're interested in keeping gaming's history intact. These include The Hidden Place, a community dedicated to the preservation of retro video game development, Hard for Games, who make videos on development prototypes and rare systems, and The Cutting Room Floor, a wiki home for digital archaeology, discovering and examining unused cut and debugging content in video games. Feels bad, man. That was your first thought? Yeah. My actual first thought was it was just costing too much. Quite often these sites they're just like, they run on donations. Most of the like video game preservation, whether you're talking about websites that preserve or you're talking about museums and cities and stuff that are about video game preservation, it's just donations and stuff, man. And quite often they end up shutting down because they just don't have enough backing, you know? They don't have enough people, or they just don't have enough. They don't have enough capital to keep things going, man. And most of the people that even work there don't even like. They're just passionate, and they don't like. They do it as a volunteer thing. They don't even get paid. All the money goes into like the space needed to upkeep everything and store everything, and it's unfortunate, man. It really is. I'll link it for you guys. There's some good links in there for some other sites, for video game preservation and stuff. Peacock drops the first trailer for High Octane Twisted Metal adaptation. I can already tell you, I'm going to have to cut this out of this news segment, but whatever. After decades of middling results, video game adaptations are finally the hottest thing in entertainment, especially after the Super Mario Brothers movie box office numbers. Streamer Peacock is joining the video game adaptation wars with a live-action comedy based on the PS1 era vehicular warfare simulator Twisted Metal, and it just dropped the first trailer. Dude, bring back Twisted Metal, please. That game was so much fun. And it could be so good in modern gaming. With today's technology and everything, it could be so good. For the uninitiated, Twisted Metal is a hugely popular franchise that is sort of a riff on the battle mode from the Mario Kart series. With a heavy emphasis on comical violence and absolute destruction. Think Rocket League with guns. No, not really. The show seems to be scrapping the arena-based nature of the games with a journey across post-apocalyptic wasteland. Okay. we'll watch this. But again, I'm probably going to have to cut this out of the news segment whenever I upload it to YouTube, because anything that's like Netflix or Peacock or whatever from their YouTube channels, dude, it always gets copyright violations, man. So I'll end up having to like cut all this out, okay? But we'll watch it right now for everybody that's hanging out. Cool. Yo, this shotgun's cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Sweet tooth. Cool, man. All right. Yeah. Hopefully it'll be good. This is the thing. Hopefully it'll be good enough that it will prompt a developer to bring back Twisted. Who even owns the Twisted Metal IP, dude? I don't even know who owns that. Is it Sony? The Twisted Metal games were always on PlayStation. So is it Sony that owns it? I don't even know. Published by Sony. They probably own the rights. It's been developed by a lot of different I bet Sony owns the rights to it. Dude, if hopefully the show does well enough that they'll be like, "Yo, let's make another game." Cuz the games were sick back in the day. The show looks like it could be good. We'll see. The series stars the newly appointed Captain America, Anthony Mackie, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine standout Stephanie Beatriz. You can't tell much from the apocalypse-soaked trailer, but the show's description describes Mackie as a motor-mouth outsider offered a chance at a better life, and Beatriz as a badass axe-wielding car thief. Also wouldn't be Twisted Metal without the iconic killer clown Sweet Tooth, described here as a deranged clown who drives an all-too-familiar ice cream truck. Franchise arguably reached its pinnacle in 96 with Twisted Metal 2. Hasn't been a new release in over a decade, so who exactly is the show for? Who knows? Has evil clowns and explosive car chases, so who cares? First season premieres July 27th. 10 episodes. All right. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Cool, man. If you want more out of it here. Yeah, I'm down. I'll watch that. that looks like it could be good. I hope so. Nintendo job listing could be huge news for Switch Online subscribers. This again is one of those things that's really scared everybody because obviously at some point in the future, hopefully soon, in the not too distant future, we will get a new Nintendo console because the Switch is old. The Switch is old. Its hardware is even older. And it's time. I'd say beyond time. But the scary thing is that Nintendo does this stupid thing where they create a new online platform for every single new console they come out with. And it ultimately is just a real big pain in the butt for everybody instead of them just having one comprehensive online platform where all of your Nintendo stuff is always kept. And you can connect any of your platforms to get any of the content that you need for any of your Nintendo consoles that you've ever had. Yeah. I mean, like we just saw with 3DS store, the Wii U store, they both just shut down. There's no need in it. All they needed to do is they just need to quit calling this Switch Online. It needs to be called Nintendo Online. That's all it needs to be moving forward. They need to quit doing this. It shouldn't have even been this time. It just needs to be Nintendo Online, and they need to have all of their eShop products there. That's what the 3DS eShop and the Wii U eShop, all that stuff should have just been migrated over here, and it should have just been called Nintendo Online. That way, any console you have, whether it's the Wii or a DS or a Wii U or what, it doesn't matter, dude. You should just be able to connect those. You can go access Nintendo Online and grab whatever content you need. But Nintendo's always been terrible like this. So do I, Mithril. The Wii was a dope console, dude. We still got Wii. We still play it from time to time. Yeah, fair. I mean, I've talked about that a lot too. I mean, they're not the only ones that make that play. This is a play for consoles. Look, ugh, god dang, dude. Whether you want to look at it as the console space is gross, it's really really scummy. It's all a ploy to make consumers double, triple, quadruple dip, whatever. Whether it be buying the game that if you already own the game in some capacity, digital or physical. They want you to buy it again, or they want you to buy a subscription service that has that game on it so you can play it again on another platform that they own, whatever. There's all kinds of different ways in which they play into this really, really scummy mechanic of trying to get people to double dip, triple dip, buying the same games over and over and over, buying into subscription services to access the same titles they've already owned before or still own, but you just can't play on specific consoles because, why should you be able to, right? It's gross. They've been setting themselves up to do this for a long time. And again, this is why I don't do console anymore. It's disgusting. It's really, really gross. Yeah, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, I can understand that. Look, and one of the things I'll say about GOG is like, GOG is a platform that I promote often because it's DRM free. And if people don't know what that means, it's a situation where you don't. DRM is like, I'm not going to get too technical about it. If you have a Steam account and you want to play, I'm just going to give you a contrasting idea of what makes GOG good. They are promoted as a DRM free platform. Why that's nice is because for those of you that don't know, if you have like a single player game on GOG that doesn't require any kind of online functionality, right? Like multiplayer or anything like that, you've already got that game downloaded and installed. You do not have to connect to GOG servers to play that game. If it's downloaded, you own it, it's downloaded and installed already, you don't have to have internet to play that game. You can boot it up, play it, run it at anytime you want. You don't have to connect to GOG servers to play that game. That is not the way most platforms work nowadays. So take Steam or like Epic, for example. Even if you own the game and it's a single player game that doesn't require any kind of online functionality, you're going to download that game, you're going to install that game. But if you can't connect to the internet, you're going to have a really tough time running that game because you can't connect to their servers because they have DRM. It's basically an anti-piracy kind of thing, right? The new Steam beta update? No, dude, no, I'm not running it. We've read about it. Yes. What's up, Pinky? Did you see what I sent you in Discord? So that's one of the things that's so good about GOG. They're one of the last platforms that really does this kind of thing. The DRM free stuff, And a lot of people go, well, I've always got connectivity, so what do I care? Well, not everybody out there always has connectivity or has good connectivity, So, and to be fair, having an amount of a library on a platform that is DRM free just in case as something happens, and I don't know, maybe your flipping fiber line gets cut accidentally when they're out there working on the water lines or gas lines or something at some point, and you're without internet for a couple of days, but you had a couple of games already downloaded and installed on GOG. You'll be able to play those games. So I don't know. Oh, really, Ferret? Yeah. Seeing the link not loading, very cool. 10 out of 10. All right, dude. All right. So look, I mean, Nintendo already kind of came out and was telling everybody to not be worried. We're not going to make everybody switch over to a new platform for a new console. But I mean, they always have made everybody. So I think there's still a lot of worry, even with the Nintendo trying to alleviate concerns here, right? But apparently there's a job listing. A new Nintendo job listing suggests the next Nintendo console could be more similar to the Switch than different, and that Switch Online will continue its journey through time and Nintendo consoles rather than start back over at NES. Job listing is for specifically Nintendo European Research and Development, also known as NERD. Sick. An internal group that largely works on software-related things, including emulation. In the job listing, it's noted the goal will be to aim for and go beyond state-of-the-art solutions in these fields, targeting current and next-gen Nintendo platforms. What is also mentioned is cross-platform development. This job listing, combined with the context, may very well be evidence that Nintendo is planning to carry over its progress made with Switch Online, rather than start fresh and go back to the beginning of the drip feed like they always do. You may ask why they would do the latter in the first place, but it's something they've done more than once at this point. In other words, there's plenty of precedence to suggest this could happen. Again, it's exactly why people are so scared of a new console for Nintendo, even though it's needed. It would be great news for Switch Online subscribers to carry over their NES, SNES, Sega Genesis, Game Boy 64 games to the next Nintendo console. Not only to maintain access to various classics, but to get closer to getting to GameCube and other Nintendo platforms that have not been reached yet. That said, this job listing does not confirm anything. It seems to hint that the Switch and the next Nintendo console will be compatible in a major way, and that Switch Online will continue its progress, but it does not confirm these things. How about this? Let's take it a step further. Nintendo. How about this? How about you get to a point where if somebody buys Mario Kart 8, on Switch, or they had it on Wii U, right? They own it on any platform that ever comes out afterwards. Wow. Because they've already bought it. Because they already own it on Nintendo. Or how about anybody that buys Tears of the Kingdom, Nintendo, on Switch will own it on any console that comes out afterwards that it's playable on, that you guys make it playable on, because they already own it. How about that? How about working on that? What a novel idea. To let people play the games they already own on the platform that they bought it on, instead of scumming them out and making them buy games 2 and 3 and 4 times again, making people double and triple dip because you're greedy buttholes. How about that, Nintendo? Work on that. Sounds like less money for them. Yeah. Honestly, I mean, what I'm talking about should be illegal. to have to make people pay again for something they already bought from you, not giving people access to play the games they already own because you're making a newer platform on newer, not giving people access to the games they are, that should be illegal. In my opinion, nobody should have to pay twice for a game they already own. And this is one of the big reasons why, like, I'm so heavy into PC gaming nowadays, as opposed to where traditionally, especially, whenever I was younger, I did a lot of PC gaming and console gaming. I don't have to worry about that on PC, So all my PC games are always going to be mine, and I can play them on any PC that I ever make moving forward. I don't have to worry about another version of PC coming out and my games that I own right now not working on that version of PC. Yeah, there have been compatibility issues, but that's a kind of a different thing, right? That's like a technology evolution kind of thing. But most platforms do a really good job of making sure the games remain compatible as we move forward with technology. And that's really where a lot of the console players, they go, we don't want to do that. You're just going to have to buy it again. Wait, what? Yeah, dude. Well, look, we've talked about piracy a lot too, you know. And to be fair, this is what I'll say. If you own a copy of a game, it's not piracy. If you own a copy of a game, you're allowed to emulate it. If you own a copy of a game, you're allowed to emulate it. So, in regards to that, there are loopholes out there if you're not aware of how all that works. But if you want to start talking about piracy, obviously there are a lot of things to consider. There are people that just pirate because they want to, but there's also a lot of piracy that has come about due to the fact of developers pulling scummy mechanics on us all the time. Things like this that we're talking about with Nintendo, or if you want to talk about all these terrible games that are being released here recently on PC, that has people have gotten to a point through gaming history where they've felt cheated and stolen from, and they're not willing to spend money on games anymore, so they just pirate things. Piracy's been around forever, and they try to circumvent it with stuff like DRM. But pirates, people that want to pirate stuff, they always find a way around that software. So, and really all it does is present more issues for the gameplay experience. Yo, I'm just moving in with Mithril, by the way. I'm just taking the family down under. All right, let's go. Escape from Tarkov roadmap confirms that armored vehicle is on the way. The shooter's next major patch will be crammed with new features. Here we go. We got some Tarkov stuff here. Where's Grimes at? Can we all go? Yeah. Mithril. Yeah, Mithril said he's cool, dude. Everybody can go. I'm just playing. There you go, dude. Yeah. Dude, I absolutely agree, Pinky. Well, look, and this is one thing, if you guys, if you take a look at, one of the things that was really, really common, 15 years ago, 15 to 20 years ago was demos. Demos were really, they were everywhere back then. You guys remember that? Demos were all over the place. And then all of a sudden they were like just gone. demos, you couldn't find demos anymore. Nobody was making demos. And then we got into this trend in the gaming industry of games being trash all the time, right? And if you've noticed, demos have made a huge resurgence, right? The demos are all over the place again. And that's large in part, I think, a result of developers understanding that piracy became a big deal because games were just being trash all the time. And people didn't have a way to try out the games first. So they basically had no other way of people were just buying into games, couldn't play the demo first. The games were trash. They felt cheated and stolen from. And then it resulted in a lot of people just starting to pirate games all the time, right? So now you see demos coming back, and it's giving people a way to at least taste the games before they get. It's not always going to be completely indicative of what you're going to experience in the game itself, but at least it's something. At least it's better, you know? But you're absolutely right, Pinky. Just make quality games. You won't have nearly as much of a problem with piracy. I agree. It's always going to be an issue, but not nearly as much. Just make good games, dude. Make quality games. The preliminary roadmap from Escape from Tarkov has been released, with developer Battlestate Games detailing tweaks, technical fixes, and new content coming to the hardcore shooter by version 0.14. The roadmap was posted to Escape from Tarkov's Facebook page and outlined 4 key updates to the game, 2 technical updates, a transition to the Unity 2021 game engine, and a larger content drop. Patch 0.13.0.5 is the first update to be detailed and includes a fix for gunshots and explosion audio that is not playing correctly at short distances. Oh, dude, my bad. Hold on. Okay. The update will also include a rework to Tarkov's skyboxes, changes to how headsets work, and a fix for visual problems with flashlights. After that, Battlestate has confirmed it will be porting Escape from Tarkov to the Unity 2021 engine, which it says will allow the introduction of new technologies aimed at optimizing and updating graphics. Another technical update, patch 0.13.1.0, is slated to arrive next and will bring fundamental changes to the game's behind-the-scenes architecture. For players, this will translate to a gradual increase of fellow players and AI that can appear in raid, along with better stability and hit registration. The last update will be detailed is patch 0.14.0.0, which will likely arrive during the game's next wipe, which is when all players' progress is reset. Yeah. Battlestate has listed a significant amount of new content that will be added here, including an expansion to the Streets of Tarkov map, which will also include a new BTR vehicle and boss for the map. 0.14.0.0 will also add a vaulting mechanic to help players maneuver their characters around, as well as new guns and a rework to Tarkov's quests. Other highlights include a rework to Tarkov's recoil system, a hideout expansion, left shoulder shooting, and a better system for using cover. Word. Yo, I wonder if I think Grimes is crazy busy day to day. Oh. Yeah, you're good, Miss Bat. Yeah. It's good to see you. I hope the family's doing well, by the way. Yeah. One second. Okay, cool. Nice. Oh, dude, I probably need to link that, huh? Oh, doing stuff for one of the kids' birthdays. Oh, nice. Nice. Bat Fam's doing great. Good. Oh, the Tarkov wiggle, dude. Try to get other people to wiggle at you through the mat. Yeah. Those cheaters. Yeah. Slip and slide kickball? Dude, that sounds like a recipe for concussions. Let's go. Cool. Yo, it's good to see you, Miss Bet. It really is. Yeah, I'm glad the family's doing well. I hope the birthday celebration goes very well. Tell birthday, whoever's birthday it is, tell him I said happy birthday. I don't know. I just brain farted super hard. Tell birthday. Just lost it, dude. I need more coffee. Vampire Survivors is being made into an animated series. The new series will be co-produced by Ponko and Story Kitchen, the company heading up the Sifu live-action film. Just totally, like my brain just shut down, dude. It's like anytime there's parkour in a game, you know? Just can't comprehend, dude. OA.exe has quit working. OA.exe has crashed. Vampire Survivors may not seem like the most narratively rich video game of all time, but that's not going to stop developer Ponko and media company Story Kitchen from turning it into an animated television series. The most important thing in Vampire Survivors is the story, so it's a dream come true to see what started as a little indie game I made on my weekends come to life as an animated TV show. Ponko founder Luca Galante said, "It's also great to be partnering up with such experienced and talented people to make the show. I do wonder if they've realized that there isn't a single vampire in Vampire Survivors, though. It never occurred to me that story might be such an integral component of Vampire Survivors. I know there's plenty of lore, but that's not the same thing as story, and thoughts of a meaningful narrative never really entered my mind as I wandered around the minimalist top-down world, butchering countless thousands of supernatural creatures with various weapons and spells. I know there are quite a few unexpected surprises as the game progresses, new characters, levels, that sort of thing, but I never found myself wondering, for instance, if Giovanna resented the forces that turned her into a witch and is quietly plotting vengeance against them. Maybe I missed something. Still, if there's one thing I learned growing up with Hanna-Barbera cartoons, it's that you don't need depth or even basic coherence to whip up a semi-successful cartoon series. And of course, the series can, and no doubt will, plumb the lore to tells that the game itself doesn't. Ponko confirmed the news on Twitter and asked the obvious question, who should be in this thing? Story Kitchen is a serious partner for this kind of thing. It was founded by Sonic the Hedgehog film series co-producer Dimitri Johnson, John Wick creator Derek Kolstad, former APA partner Mike Goldberg. Already has a number of game-related projects in the works, including a live-action Sifu film and a Toe Jam and Earl movie. Nice. In hindsight, maybe the tides of the Foscari trailer that dropped a couple of weeks ago was telling us about more than just a DLC. Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't have to have a deep narrative necessarily to be okay, but it would be really nice to see a really great writer get in behind this and flesh out maybe some of these characters and story, A 4-day weekend, Joey? Yo, what's up, dude? Ferret. I had to reboot there for a second. Yeah. Wait, what? And am ad. And am ad. And mad? And mad. Jelly, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. But it's good to see you, man. It's been a little bit. How you doing? I got a 4-day weekend and am ad. Bank holiday and Tuesday is a strike day, which is brilliant and terrible. Why is it terrible? Violin lessons on Tuesday. Oh, okay. Gotcha. If you guys need more out of this here. There you go. Death Roads tournament preview. Deck building meets road carnage. Let's go, dude. Death Roads tournament is a fast-paced car fighting game set in a dystopian future. You'll have to put your car and your life on the line to fight for glory and a ticket to safety. Defend your reputation to earn entry into paradise. The last safe haven in the divided states of America. Are they basing this on like modern US? Because it sounds like it. With only one winner, the stakes are high and you'll need to be prepared for anything. So fasten your seatbelts and get ready to ride to the extreme. Choose your driver, car, weapons, and sponsors and battle against other Outlanders in dangerous races. Death Roads Tournament combines roguelite style, deadly racing, and deck building with car battles unlike anything seen before. Managing your car's condition and handling, switching gears and playing cards are crucial to come out on top. Gear up and get ready for a race of carnage on Death Roads. So the game mixes deck building with action sequences of road carnage and car battles where you fight for survival against other vehicles. Use the cards in your hand to perform deadly maneuvers, switch gears, attack to defeat your opponents. Pay attention to all lanes for blockages, other inconveniences. If you run into a blocked lane, the game is over. When a vehicle slips, it loses steering control and randomly skid cards are placed with surprising results. Combat uses a turn-based system where your opponent gets their turn to act once you've played your cards. At times, you may face multiple adversaries, which requires forward planning. You must evaluate which foes to eliminate first based on their strengths, weaknesses, and your deck of cards. Find yourself in a tricky situation, you may escape from enemies by driving forward until they are out of range. Escapes are limited, so save them for tougher opponents or mid-game when the competition becomes more challenging. Whenever your car is attacked by certain weapons or you play certain cards, your car may lose steering control, known as skidding. Skidding is unpredictable and can lead to devastating outcomes. Whenever you skid, you will play cards from your skid deck, which is composed of maneuvers like changing lanes, colliding with opponents, or speeding forwards or backwards. Deck is based on car parts you install in the garage. Each car part has up to 4 cards to assemble your deck. Some cards relate to car maneuvers, switching gears, swapping undesirable cards from your hand. Others relate to the weapons you can choose to eliminate your rivals. As cards are associated with car parts, you cannot build your deck with whatever cards you want. You are always constrained by the car parts you gain or acquire during the game. In the long run, it makes the game from being overwhelming. Check your garage frequently to ensure that your car is set up to match your playstyle. Select your path across the U.S. map when you start in between stages. Your journey is non-linear, with stops at road battles, challengers, events, scrapyards, fix stations, and the chop shop. The highlights are the road battle and challengers, where you enter turn-based combat with different objectives. At the end of a victorious battle, the player will be rewarded with parts to choose from and scrap, the game's currency. Scrap can be used to buy parts to fix your car. However, true to the roguelike spirit, the game is over if you lose a battle. You will slowly level up your character, eventually unlocking new cars and characters to choose from. The difficulty ramps up smoothly. The game never feels overwhelming, but can be unpredictable and frustrating at times. Pros. It mixes action sequences of road carnage with deck building and hand management mechanics, engaging and addictive gameplay, Mad Max style post-apocalyptic diesel punk design. Cons. The game can be highly frustrating due to its randomness, leading to unexpected outcomes and ruining the gameplay experience. The game can become repetitive after a while as players repeatedly engage in the same type of battles. The soundtrack doesn't suit the game. Death Roads Tournament. Interesting. Yo, just a second. I'll get chat one moment. %73% positive right now. Let's check this out real quick. Okay.
Road never changes. There can be
oh yeah, violin is very difficult. Yeah, I'm good, Jelly. I'm good. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I'm solid, man. Yeah. I have a sibling. I have a sibling that learned violin for a while. Yeah. And one of my kids actually did a little bit of violin. Yeah. Didn't really stick with it. It wasn't their jam.
About the time when I was still young, fighting my way to the top in the first Death Roads tournament.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, thanks for asking, man. I'm good. I'm good. Doing well. Okay. I mean, I'll link this for you guys if you want to take a closer look at it. There you go. That's on Steam. Obviously. Here, hold on. Okay. Microsoft inks another cloud gaming deal after the UK blocked its Activision takeover. The agreement with Inware is similar to those that struck with the likes of Nvidia. So, despite suffering a significant blow this week in its attempt to take over Activision Blizzard, Microsoft still believes it can get the job done. The company has signed a 10-year agreement with Spain-based cloud gaming provider Inware to make PC games it builds in-house available to stream on that platform, along with Activision Blizzard titles, if and when the roughly $69 billion deal goes through. Quote, while it's still early for the emerging cloud segment in gaming, this new partnership combined with our other recent commitments will make more popular games available on more cloud game streaming services than they are today. Microsoft President and Vice Chairman Brad Smith wrote on Twitter, "We are full speed ahead in our mission to bring players more ways to play their favorite games." Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer added, I'm actually a fan of Phil. Out of the console space, he's like one of the only people that I really kind of gravitate towards. In a similar fashion to NVIDIA's GeForce Now, Inware offers users access to a number of their game libraries via the cloud, including those from Steam, Epic, and Ubisoft. Users can use the service to stream their games on Windows, Android, smartphones, tablets, and smart TVs. The latest agreement follows similar deals Microsoft struck with Nintendo, Steam, NVIDIA, Boosteroid, Ubisoft, and EE to make its games available on those companies' platforms. Microsoft says it has offered Sony, the biggest opponent of the proposed Activision merger, a 10-year agreement to keep the likes of Call of Duty on PlayStation. However, Sony didn't take up that offer. So, I've hit on this a number of times. The initial 10-year offer, before anybody else even got one, was to Sony. So, all of these are hinging, basically, on the fact of Microsoft being able to fully acquire Activision Blizzard, right? So, these 10-year deals are not going to happen, really, if Microsoft they're not able to acquire Activision Blizzard. But one of the first things that happened was Microsoft went to Sony and was like, you think we're anti-competitive? Here's a 10-year deal on top of what you already have, which is like roughly they've still got like two years left with their current agreement with Activision Blizzard for Call of Duty to be on their platforms. Microsoft apparently offered them a 10-year deal, and Sony shot it down. I've said this from the get-go. It wouldn't matter what they offered Sony. Sony was always going to shoot it down. They've always wanted this to look anti-competitive. But in a good play by Microsoft, the very next company they went to with a 10-year deal was Nintendo, the other big Japanese video gaming developer and console player, right? And they were like, how would you like a 10-year deal to have Call of Duty on your platform? And Nintendo right away was like, yeah, cool. It made Sony look terrible. And after that, it was kind of like snowball effect, because there were all these other roadblocks and obstacles with getting this deal done, with regulatory committees saying it did seem anti-competitive. There needed to be some things done to make it a little bit more balanced. And so Microsoft started doing these deals, these 10-year deals with competitors in the cloud gaming space, console competitors, just all through the gaming industry, you know. And really the big hurdle now is the fact that the UK blocked this. And, you know, it's not over. I really think it's going to happen. I still think it's going to happen. But, we have to wait and see everything that's going to go down here. Yeah, Microsoft and Activision ran into a major obstruction this week when the UK's Competition and Markets Authority blocked the deal. Basically voicing concerns over Microsoft having a dominant position in the cloud gaming market. That was their big concern. Microsoft and Activision plan to appeal the CMA's decision, a process that may take many months. The company had hoped to close the deal by the summer. In December, the U.S. Federal Trade Commission sued to block the takeover. The case is set to go to trial in August. There's still a lot going on here. We'll keep track of it. If you need more, here you go. But hopefully, if you didn't know, now you know. All right. Tomb Raider game leaked. Let's go. A brand new Tomb Raider game has leaked online. Tomb Raider is one of the biggest video game franchises out there and has been around for so many decades. It's something that is synonymous with a lot of people's memories of the first PlayStation and iconic female heroes in gaming. Lara Croft went on to transcend gaming with multiple films, including a reboot, which failed to kickstart a new franchise for a variety of convoluted reasons. There will be a new effort from Amazon with a new TV series and possibly films, but details are scarce on that. It's already been confirmed that Crystal Dynamics is hard at work on the next Tomb Raider game, though we have no idea what it will look like or what exactly the vision is. There may be another Tomb Raider game in the pipeline as well. The ESRB has rated a new game for the Switch called Tomb Raider Collection, a game that hasn't been officially announced yet. The description notes that it's a collection of 2 action-adventure games with a 3/4 overhead perspective, also rated T for teen, which means it can't be any of the 3 games in the recent trilogy as they were all rated M with an over-the-shoulder third-person point of view. It's likely this collection is for Guardian of Light and Temple of Osiris, 2 Tomb Raider spin-offs that were available digitally and were a little more pulpy than the core series that Crystal Dynamics recently put out. It seems like those games are going to make their way to the Switch sometime soon as per the ESRB rating, which they'll likely fit quite nicely on due to their gameplay styles. Yeah, the ESRB rating is one of the final things that a game has to do before it can release. Usually only possible to rate a game once a developer knows what kind of content will make it into the final release. With that said, it can't be too far off from releasing. Normally what will happen too is games will get rated in certain countries first. You'll see quite often it'll be like Brazil, Korea, things like that. We'll see ESRB ratings pop up in those areas of the world. Australia even, places like that. That's kind of where they'll pop up first. And that's a pretty good indicator for all of the gaming world that we've got games coming to the table for us, right? But I touched on this earlier. As far as the Tomb Raider is concerned, if you didn't know, so Tomb Raider until middle of last year was a Square Enix owned IP. And in I think it was May of last year, Square Enix sold all of their North American development studios, Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, Thief, all those IPs to Embracer Group for roughly $300 million. And at the beginning of this year, Embracer Group turned around and sold the licensing rights or the IP of Tomb Raider to Amazon for $600 million. So Tomb Raider has changed hands 2 times within the past year at this point. And we already knew that Crystal Dynamics was working on a new Tomb Raider game, but it doesn't look like that's what we're getting right now. But we'll see. We'll keep track. If you need more, I'll link this. Excuse me, I'm sorry. All right, we're gonna link all these together here. We've already been talking about. I mean, we literally end up getting in these discussions every single day nowadays in the news segments, video gaming news segments we do every day, regarding the pretty brutal trends going on in video game development and the bad releases we see consistently happening within the industry. And we saw this. We have this article here. Major publishers report AAA games can cost over $1 billion to make, and I think that makes it even more concerning when you take into account that we've just got game after game after game after game after game coming out from AAA developers that are absolute trash on certain platforms, quite often PC. It seems like there's a huge disregard for any kind of quality, optimized, polished product from a lot of these developers to be pushed out onto a PC platform anymore when they're just so locked into making sure it's okay on console. It's not always the case, but it does seem like that's a more popular way for a lot of these AAA developers to be addressing their releases, and it's really, really gross. So we're gonna talk about this, the budget that some of these games are having, and then we're gonna segue it into how bad this Jedi Survivor game is right now on PC. Okay, which released like 2 days ago at this point. So major publishers report AAA games can cost over $1 billion to make. Games like Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto already require over $250 million in development costs alone. We also saw where a game like Forspoken apparently had over a $100 million budget, right? And that game was a pretty big bust, to the point of, oh God, what was the name of that developer, dude? That is no longer a developer now. Illuminous, is that who it was? Not Illuminous, it was Luminous. Luminous Productions, which was a subsidiary of Sony, and Sony has now devoured them or absorbed them, however you want to refer to it. Sony basically went, yo, your game was trash, and now you're nothing. It was a development studio underneath Sony, and Sony basically just absorbed them. It was like, you're no longer your own standalone studio. You're now part of just Sony development. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy to see like these games that are, have these insane budgets that are just terrible. And it's not, I mean, it's, I think, quite often a culmination of things. It's not always just bad performance either. It's like subpar performance and really just subpar content quite often too. Bad writing, cringy like dialogue, and just not fun content really. It's lackluster content in the game that feels starts feeling repetitive and not fun. Only after a few hours into the game, stuff like that. I mean, it's I don't know what the deal is, but on Wednesday the UK competition, yeah, we just talked about this. Oh, yo, fair. All right, buddy. Yo, you guys be safe, okay, man? Yeah, be safe. We'll see you soon. Thanks, man. And a massive report on the decision. Yeah, okay, so we just talked about all this Microsoft Activision stuff that's going Activision Blizzard acquisition by Microsoft. It's been blocked by the UK Marketing Authority, and they're still trying to push forward with it, but we'll see how it goes. According to the AAA games, according to a report, in a massive report on the decision, the CMA revealed that some major publishers report their AAA games can cost over $1 billion to make. According to the report, AAA games that are greenlit now with potential releases in 2024 or 2025 typically receive development budgets of $200 million or higher. Call of Duty has already surpassed $300 million in development costs alone, and the next Grand Theft Auto title will likely require a development budget of $250 million or more. When considering marketing costs, this number can jump to over $1 billion, with one large studio reporting that a major franchise's development costs $660 million and marketing costs nearly $550 million. These costs demonstrate a significant increase from 5 years ago when most AAA games had budgets between $50 and $150 million. The CMA's ruling, citing a report by Market Intelligence Group, IDG, also revealed details about the increasing development demands for new Call of Duty titles. We have to make so much content for Call of Duty that we can't even lean on one lead studio anymore. Activision was quoted as saying in the report, now we need almost 1.5 lead studios for each annual Call of Duty. That kind of bandwidth pressure is forcing us to use outsourcers more and more. I don't see that changing anytime soon. Alongside its insights into the rapidly increasing cost of AAA game development, CMA's report also asserts that Nintendo's platforms aren't technically capable of running Call of Duty. Yeah, no doubt, despite Microsoft's confidence. The report also details how Microsoft could potentially make Game Pass more expensive after the acquisition. So again, I mean, I can't help but focus down on the fact here that you're talking about. Even these numbers are large, in my opinion. But I mean, you know, I guarantee you, if you go take a look at like if you were to ask an indie developer, they would go, "Oh my god, I'd give anything." You know, and then you take a look at that, those numbers right there, 660 million for the development of a game alone, and then 550 million on the marketing. This is where I think we've gotten to a point in a lot of these, and we talk about this a lot. The marketing hype behind games is gross quite often. Yeah. Because how often have these games been hyped up? You get a lot of play into trying to get people to think that these games are going to be great. You get all this marketing going on for it. They dump all this money into the marketing, and the game is a piece of trash. You know? Yeah. Yeah. I grew up shooting bows too, recurves, man. Um, yeah, it's cool that the ferret's got a kid that's into archery and stuff. It's really neat. Um, I just this is really really concerning, man. And I mean, obviously, we're talking about like Call of Duty is one of, if not the biggest game in the industry, right? Done bows a few times. Love it. Yeah, bows are cool, dude. Yeah, there's there's a big difference, man, between like if you're doing like recurves or if you're doing um, compound bows or whatever. Compound bows are gnarly because you can just the pulley systems on it and everything. The initial pullback is all you need, and you can just sit there and hold it forever. You just sit there and hold the bow forever. Really, there's no tension. It's all put on the pulley system of the bows. So it's not like on the muscles or your shoulder or anything anymore. But I was raised shooting recurve bows, and it's all about like you're not gonna be able to hold that thing back very very long. It's like back, you got to be ready to shoot, man. You're back, and you just got to kind of go with it. Yeah, it's kind of gnarly. My dad's a pretty big dude. He's got like a 6 foot, I think it's a 6 foot custom made longbow. Shoots big old fat arrows. My dad's a big dude though, and that's just I can't even shoot a compound bow because I was raised shooting. Like I've tried shooting compound bows, and a lot of times you'll see people that are like shoot compounds. They use releases and stuff, dude. I can't use I've got to use my fingertips, and it's just because I think the way I was raised shooting and stuff. It's kind of crazy. But bows are fun, man. Archery's cool. I haven't shot in a long time, but I don't know. Yeah, this is I think what I mean, what's the problem here, dude? What's going on? I mean, what how are some of these games? I mean, even take this, even take like 50 million, random mode time. Oh jeez, Rick. Nice mithril. Guile sick. Take even the low side of that 50 mil. I mean, whatever. That's not pocket change, dude. That's a big old chunk of money right there. Um, or average that out, I guess. Take like 100 mil. Take 100 mil on a game budget. Say that half of that, right? Half of that's marketing. So 50 mil marketing, 50 mil for development, $50 million for development of a game. That's a lot of money, dude. That's a lot of money. And then you get these games that are coming out. And I mean, look, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna bring it up right now. Let's go. Let's start showing some of this. Bro, what I could do with a mill. Give me 100,000, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Road never changes. There can be new potholes and even more.
So, I mean, you want to
The
talk
road
about like
never changes.
the most recent example,
Never
right? I wonder what the budget was for this to be rated at not even 50% positive on PC at almost 6,700 reviews at this point because it's a hot bag of crap, you know? Or Wolong, you know what I mean? Wolong, terrible, 47%. All kinds of Tecmo, you know what I mean? All kinds of issues, all kinds of performance issues. Or Wild Hearts, dude. Wild Hearts. Flipping over 8,000 reviews at this point. Less than 50% positive. Tecmo, again. Publisher, EA. You know? These are big companies, dude. These are big companies. And it's constant, man. It's constant. It just keeps happening. These games are releasing, these big, massive games from big developers that are coming out. And again, I mean, we hit on it before. It's not all, right? It's not all. There are still companies like in the AAA space that are doing a pretty decent job of rolling out quality content. But what is going on where these games, and most of the time, the reason they're getting crushed in reviews and everything is because of performance. These games are not being developed well. It's not usually the content in the games. It's because they play like crap. There's frame rate issues, there's stuttering issues, they're buggy, they crash all the time. There's this really, really, really bad trend right now of these games just being terrible releases. But you know what I mean? Developers feel like we needed to raise the price to $70, right? Even though there's all these other monetization things going on in the industry, because they need big budgets for these games that are trash on release. It's not adding up, man. It's not adding up. Why do you need more money for bigger budgets for your games if all you're doing is setting a pile of crap in my lap? That doesn't add up. And again, one of the things I hit on the other day is you talk about, you know, and look, Elden Ring was trash on PC. Hogwarts Legacy was trash on PC. But you talk about games that have names associated with them, like From Software, anything that's a Soulsborne game, Star Wars, anything that has to do with like something like Harry Potter or you know, Hogwarts or whatever, they make money on it. Even if it's a piece of trash, really, they make money on it because so many people buy it. And I think it's really, really setting up a bad situation in the gaming industry right now, where developers are getting away with making money still on these really, really subpar products. We're paying for a product that is of terrible quality. Terrible quality. And Mithril, even if that's the fact, look, I've stated this, and I'll keep reiterating this. Developers have got to quit, in my opinion. Developers have got to quit looking at connectivity in the gaming industry as a crutch. It's not a flipping crutch. It's a very useful tool. It's a great utility. It's a fantastic tool. But they're using it as a crutch to go, just push it out. Just push it out. We'll try to fix it after the fact. It's got to stop. It's still not fair to make people pay for a game, and who knows if they even end up fixing it all the way after the fact. Square Enix isn't good at it, I'll tell you that. So I have had to reiterate my feelings on that sentiment a lot. I think a lot of these developers that have shown that they're really, really, really bad about releasing games, and people go, well, hopefully they'll get it patched. These developers need to get back into the mindset of the way games used to have to be released before the prominence and the widespread availability of the internet and connectivity. They need to get back into the mindset of going, this game needs to feel as good as it possibly can before we push it out. And then, luckily, we've got connectivity and we've got the internet, you know what I mean, that we can address unforeseen issues. We can add new content to the game after the fact. It's a very, very useful tool. It's a great utility for developers to have for games, but it is not a flipping crutch. And that's what most of these developers that we see pushing out these games like this, I can only assume that's the way they look at it. They just want to lean on it. They know these games aren't ready. You cannot tell me that they think these games are going to be received well. It doesn't make sense. They're getting over on us, man. We're getting scammed. We're getting scammed by these developers. There are so many examples of these huge games, huge AAA developers coming out with games that are just absolute trash. And then that you want to talk about these budgets they have for these games. That doesn't make sense. Thank God for indie developers. Indie developers that actually have passion and are really concerned with the quality of their products and wanting people to experience a vision of what they're trying to bring to the table, So the big companies, and I don't want to get into like the ins and outs of, I know there are competent individuals that work for these big companies, but overall, what's culminating to bring these products to us in a bad state, I don't know. I think it's going to be maybe different for these different developers and whatever. Whatever the case may be, dude, it's got to stop. I don't know what the solution is necessarily, but it's terrible. I know that they've got good people working for them, but they've got some terrible people working for them too, apparently. People that have no idea what it means to create a quality product. People that think it's okay to just push out something that's going to make the consumer feel cheated. That sucks, man. That's not okay. I'll link this for anybody that wants to take a look. Let's take a look at the Star Wars Jedi Survivor has major problems on PC. EA and Respawn acknowledge problems with high-end PCs. Star Wars Jedi Survivor's Windows PC version has numerous performance issues that publisher EA and Respawn Entertainment acknowledged in a statement on Friday. Worse yet, the problems seem particularly concentrated in PCs with high-performance hardware. Players using cutting-edge multi-threaded chipsets designed for Windows 11 were encountering problems on Windows 10, developers said in a statement released on Twitter. While there is no single comprehensive solution for PC performance, the team has been working on fixes we believe will improve performance across a spectrum of configurations. Statement added, we're committed to fixing these issues as soon as possible, but each patch requires significant testing to ensure we don't introduce new problems. Bro. This is crap that should have been done. There should have been significant quality assurance and testing done, You can't tell me they didn't know. Exactly, dude. You can't tell me they didn't know there were these issues before they pushed this out. They didn't test it at all? You can't tell me you... I don't believe it, dude. Star Wars Jedi Survivor launched on April 28th for PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC. Windows PC. Steam reviewers saying Jedi Survivor is not the game you're looking for. Got shocking news for you today. A major AAA... We've got shocking news for you today. I love how, sarcastic this is. A major AAA video game release is an absolute shambles. Star Wars Jedi Survivor launched worldwide on April 28th, and now the whole world can see just how broken it is. Steam reviews are all you need to see to get a good idea of how bad Jedi Survivor is at launch. The bad signs were already there before Star Wars Jedi Survivor saw the market. In an unprecedented move, EA tweeted on April 26th that it will spend several weeks post-launch releasing patches to fix bugs and improve performance. Again, it shouldn't require that. It shouldn't have been released like this, ever. A long time ago in the exact same galaxy, that sort of stuff was done before publishers were charging $70 to $90 for their games. What do we say to optimize games at launch? Not today. We know this is not a Star Wars reference. We know you still understood it. Just how Steam reviewers understood that Jedi Survivor is simply not ready to be played. You have a 7800 X3D, a 4090, and 256 gigs of RAM. Nothing you can't run on Ultra 4K, right? Not so fast, says Star Wars CPU Survivor. You will get 15 frames per second averages, and you will love it. If you're in disbelief that current top-end PC hardware is struggling to run Jedi Survivor, then the hundreds of negative Steam reviews might sway you. Even our CPU pun is pulled straight from that vault of disappointment. Not even that gamers are hating the game itself, they simply can't get to playing it. Some are stuck on loading screens, others are experiencing constant stutters and freezes, some are watching slideshows instead of motion, others can't run the game at all. All of these issues reach a logical conclusion. Jedi Survivor has a 34% approval rating on Steam at the time of writing. That's a pity because it looks like there's a decent game buried beneath poor optimization. That's quite often the case. But just like in sports, the best ability is availability. And Star Wars Jedi Survivor is as good as being without an injury. Being out with an injury right now, excuse me. We're always looking for a silver lining, and in this case, we can see it in Jedi Fallen Order's launch. Many have probably forgotten, but the game wasn't running like Usain Bolt either in its early days. With time, it got more or less fixed to where you'd encounter a few minor bugs per playthrough. Many fans are likely hoping they'll see the same redemption story from Jedi Survivor. Probably. Unfortunately. Here's the deal, dude. Nice, Pinky. Nice. Here's the deal. They delayed this game. And you know why they delayed this game? The exact quote, or the rough quote they gave was, we're delaying this game because we don't want it to have the same issues that Fallen Order had on launch. And here we are. And again, it's not fair, dude. It's not fair to go, well, they're planning on patching it, and it shouldn't have been released like this. Not even close. No, I don't think any of us expect games to be flawless, bug-free, anything like that. There's always going to be unforeseen issues, especially on the PC side of things. You're not running with static hardware. Everybody's got weird, different configurations, mashup of different kinds of hardware and stuff. There's always going to be unforeseen things. That's what's so nice about the utility and the tool of connectivity being a thing, pushing out patches and stuff. It's not a crutch, dude. It's not a crutch. This is terrible. It's gross. And I'm so tired of this crap. I don't know. I guess I'll quit ranting for today. It's such a turnoff, dude. To like I always want games to be good. I always want games to be good, and I always end up saying this too. It's like, but that unfortunately is just not the reality that we live in, and it seems more often than not we're disappointed in game releases than we are like. It's like whenever a game releases and it's in a really good state, we're like, oh man, dude, this is insane. Like, wow, what a breath of fresh air. This game actually feels great. As opposed to us being surprised when a game doesn't feel good, you know? Unique, it works, exactly. When it should be the other way around. It should be like, oh my god, dude, this game's terrible. And that being a surprise, it's like, oh, well, here it happened again. Here we go again. Another terrible release. This is the world we live in. Over and over and over and over again, man. I don't think development's easy, but it's also not fair to be releasing games when they're not ready to be released. It's not fair to us as the consumer to be trying to get us to buy a game that's not ready to be played. If you can't enjoy the content because the game plays like crap, that's not fair. That's not our fault. We shouldn't suffer for that because you wanted to go spend $500 million on a budget and you can't get your game right. That's not our fault as the consumer. That's your fault as a business. Get your crap together, you know? But part of the issue behind a lot of this too is that they're still making money. These big developers are still making a lot of money off of people. And until they quit making money, this is not going to stop, guys. All right. Let's go play games. Let's go play games. God, it pisses me off so much, man. Grounded, dude. I need to get I've got so many multiplayer games I want to play with people, dude. I want to play War Tales. I want to play Grounded. I want to play Warframe. We're gonna play Warframe today. I don't have a super long. I've got about 3 hours left today, maybe a little bit over that. I got stuff going on this afternoon. But looks a bit slow. I can see that for some people. For me, it didn't. That's not a. I could see the slowness of it, but it didn't really look like a turnoff to me. I'm really interested in the multiplayer of it, though. You know, the multiplayer that it offers, like the co-op multiplayer experience for a game like that, I think is really, really interesting, man. I'm really interested in playing that. Freak's already playing it, and Freak's really enjoying it. Freak's noted that there's been a little bit of some like wonkiness with like working around environment and stuff like that on the battlefield, I think. But other than that, I think Freak's really been enjoying it, yeah. That's the news, guys. Thanks. You rock. I appreciate you very much. I know, I mean, I feel like I rant on the same things all the time, but if it wasn't stuff that we weren't constantly having to deal with within this industry, man, I wouldn't have to rant about it, you know? Again, I think that my ultimate goal here is raising awareness about the things that I think are very unhealthy in this industry. This is an industry I love. I love video games. I know you guys do too. I don't like to sound like a broken record or anything, but I think raising awareness about the bad things that are going on and the way that, you know, things need to change to present a healthier industry on the business side of things and for us as the consumer is an important thing. It is important to me, you know? So I'm going to keep doing what I feel like I need to do. That's all there is to it, really. And you guys are amazing, and I appreciate you always being here and being engaged in it and bringing things to my attention that I might not be aware of and stuff like that, man. So it's awesome. I hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. We're going to move on and do a little bit of some warframing today. I went really hard yesterday, man. I think I did like 13-hour stream, something like that. It's been a bit of a shorter stream sessions throughout this week, and today's gonna be short too. So I tried to go hard yesterday, but you know, we'll have fun, man. It'll be good. So, yeah, I don't know if anybody's checking out this new segment or clips from the new segments or gameplay playthroughs or clips from just games and funny stuff that goes on here in the community, man. We've got all that stuff out on YouTube and the Twitch channel as highlights. And if you're enjoying any of it, I would prompt you to come hang out with myself and the rest of the amazing people that are part of this community when we go live at 6 a.m. CST every single day. We always start off with video gaming news, where you would get to listen to me rant about things. And then we go play games. We have a good time. And there are a lot of amazing people that are part of what we do here. And we'd like to have more cool people come be a part of it. So other than that, man, stay healthy, stay safe, be kind. And I'll catch everybody tomorrow for what will be April 30th edition of Video Gaming News. All right.